Hello and welcome to Mitv Primetime News. I am Teresa Adeyemi. We'll begin the news tonight with the headlines. President Buhari pledges support as Nigeria hosts major cultural, tourism, literacy events. Police Nigerian Air Force raid terrorist hideout in Katsina. From the foreign scene, Gaza death toll rises as Israel kills second top militant, several children. Sport. Toby Amusan successfully defend Commonwealth Games Women 100 meter hurdles title. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged full support for three major international events scheduled to hold in Nigeria in October and November as the event are opportunities to showcase the nation's rich heritage and culture, arts, tourism and entertainment, as well as advancement in media freedom. President Buhari spokesman Femi Adesina stated on Sunday in Abuja that the president welcomed decisions by organizers of the three separate historic events for Nigeria to host the fiestas. The president assured all stakeholders and participants of the warmth and hospitality of the people of Nigeria. Nigeria will be hosting the 2022 UNESCO Global Media Information Literacy Week in Abuja in October, of which President Buhari noted that it is instructive that Nigeria is attracting positive international attention as a country that promotes media freedom and freedom of expression. The country will host the first global conference on culture and tourism and creative industry in Lagos also in October. In November, it will host the second Global Association of Literary Festivals Conference in Abeokuta. Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project, otherwise known as SEREP, and Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID, filed a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari, asking the court to declare arbitrary and illegal the 5 million naira imposed on Trust TV, MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, NTE Star Times Limited, and Telecom Satellite Limited over the documentaries on terrorism in the country. Joined in the suit as defendant are the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC. The NBC had last week imposed the fines on the media houses, claiming that their documentaries glorify the activities of bandits and undermines national security in Nigeria and contravene the provisions of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. But in the suit at the Federal High Court Lagos, SEREP and CJID is seeking an order setting aside the arbitrary and illegal fines of 5 million naira and any other penal sanction unilaterally imposed by the NBC on these media houses simply for carrying out their constitutional duties. According to the plaintiffs, the NBC and Lai Mohammed have not shown that the documentaries by the media houses would impose a specific risk of harm to a legitimate state interest that outweighs the public interest in the information provided by the documentaries. In a related development, the Katsina Police Command has raided terrorist hideout at Tendama village in Danja local government area and rescued 6 kidnapped victims. A statement by the command spokesman, Superintendent Gambo Isa, said the raid of the terrorist hideout was based on credible intelligence. It said based on the command raided terrorist hideout at Unguwa Dako, Tendama village, Danja, LGA, and succeeded in rescuing 6 kidnapped victims. In a related development, an unconfirmed report by some members of Safana community indicated the bombardment of a terrorist camp by the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, at Safana local government area of Katsina State on Saturday evening, which led to the decimation of a terrorist leader, Abdul Karim Faka. Politics ahead of the presidential poll in the 2023 general election, the Muslim ticket adopted by the ruling All Progressive Congress APC has continued to dominate the political landscape of Nigeria. While the APC has justified that there is no discrimination agenda behind the Muslim ticket, the opposition parties, especially the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Christian community, have berated the ruling party for taking a step that may further polarize an already religiously divided nation. Our correspondent Fatoki Kunle takes a look at what he has assumed the national debate in this report as presented from our studio. Following consultations with the leadership of the All Progressive Congress APC to choose its running mate ahead of the presidential election in 2023, APC presidential flag bearer Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 10th of July 2022 picked Senator Kashim Shettima as his vice presidential candidate. Tinubu defended his choice of Senator Shettima, a Muslim like him, saying that it was based on the principle of competence and the belief on who can work with him as his deputy.
Church, I am the governor that returned all the mission schools. When I was paying examination fees, the WAEC and all NECO fees of these children, I didn't look at their religion. You believe that they are entitled, they have the right to the education, and the poverty might prevent them from, put them in disadvantaged position.
Since then, the Muslim ticket has become a controversial debate in the political landscape of Nigeria, with the presidential flag bearer of the main opposition party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, describing the Muslim ticket as a point of division between him and Tinubu politically.
My fundamental disagreement with Asiwaju since 2007 was on the issue of Muslim ticket. That was my fundamental disagreement and departure politically. And together with Asiwaju, we formed ACN, and I was given a ticket in Lagos. And he insisted to be my running mate. And I said, no, I'm not going to have a Muslim ticket.
However, in a statement, the APC presidential candidate was quick to point out that Atiku was not part of those who formed the ACN ahead of the 2007 elections, while making it clear that the PDP candidate was only invited to the party to be the party's presidential candidate, wondering why Atiku would reduce himself to lies. Even the Christian community across the nation has vehemently rejected the Muslim ticket, berating the APC for not being sensitive to clamor for inclusiveness in the nation.
What you do is you look for food, and you are not going to eat any food that will become a poison to your stomach. The kind of food APC is offering to Nigerians is a divisive food, is a poisonous food, is a food that will create tension and will deny people sleep. And I'm saying without fear of contradiction that we are looking for a food that will heal the wound. We are looking for a food that will unite the people. We are looking for a food that will make everybody feel belong.
But the ruling APC came out in clear terms that there was no need to give the Muslim ticket a religious sentiment, pointing out that it was only a political strategy to win the presidential election in 2023.
Shettima. I have no doubt that Asiwaju has found an able, competent, confident, patriotic compatriot who will support him both in the campaign and by God's grace in moving Nigeria forward and giving all Nigerians a sense of...
If we don't play Muslim, we're in trouble. We will not win it will be most difficult to win the election, because the only thing left to Ahmed Tinubu today is to play Muslim. I know that the church I go to, the Catholic secretary, might condemn it, so it's not good to... What is wrong with Muslim tickets? I don't see anything.
Is anything wrong
in my eye? There's nothing wrong in Christian ticket also.
I think what we should look at is the antecedent, the pedigree of the man Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor. He has been fair-minded. Yes, he has a running mate as a Muslim. His sole name, his wife, Senator Ahmed Tinubu, is a Christian. Some of his children are Christians. As a sitting governor, he returned missionary schools. As a sitting governor, he started the yearly Lagos State Thanksgiving, presided over by Daddy Gio.
Senator Shettima has also defended his emergence as the APC running mate, saying that he ran a government without religious discrimination when he was a Borno State governor.
We give a firm assurance that no discrimination of any form will arise from this patriotic alliance for the deepening of Nigeria's democracy. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, especially to my Christian brothers, lend me your ears.
For now, this national debate has continued to dominate the political scene of Nigeria, but it remains to be seen if opposition parties will use it as an advantage ahead of the presidential poll and whether the Christian community will indeed converse against the ruling APC. In the meantime, political analysts and legal practitioners have dismissed the controversy generated by the Muslim presidential ticket of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC ahead of the presidential poll in the 2023 general elections. In separate interviews, analysts said the Muslim ticket should not have generated the international debate that currently dominated the polity.
Ordinarily, the issue of Muslim ticket ought not to have generated the controversy, debate it has generated. I mean, it will have been unnecessary. In decent time, in developed time, like Britain, Europe, all those things are not the material or essential factor that should be considered. In as much that I believe personally that the issue of religion is very touchy, and at the same time, as I normally say, what is actually lacking in Nigerian political space is the leaders that have the fear of God in their mind. Excess of religion is to effect a positive change in the life.
That's why I believe the Christians are very critical of the Muslims, or somebody picking two Muslims representing them. If you go back to the APC government, yes, we know that the Christian is the VP, but I don't believe the impact has been felt, whether because it's a Christian, that what this is this and that was that. It has not made any impact. And if you go back even to Shagari and Kweme, you certainly notice this dichotomy. So they are just using all these ones for political.
Because the whole issue is about Tinubu being a Muslim and Shettima being a Muslim, called the Muslim ticket. No doubt, ordinarily on the face value, it shouldn't go. But Nigeria now has gotten to a crossroad where competence, capability and ability will rule, and not tribe or religion, which to me has really done a lot of disservice to this country, particularly the issue of religion.
Here in Lagos, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has expected ongoing works on the Red Line Rail corridor, expressing optimism that the project will be operational by the first quarter of next year. The inspection of ongoing works on Red Line Rail project started from Agege NRC train station to Ikeja station, Mushin Yaba intersection of Apapa Road, leading to Ebute Meta and Onyegbo. The governor, while briefing the State House correspondent, said the project would have passengers movement by January next year. It said the infrastructure development at Agege Station, which has a connectivity with Nigerian Railway Corporation, is on track, while work was ongoing on the overpass bridge in Mushi Station, and the civil work with the bridge is almost completed at Yaba Station.
Is to ensure that the physical infrastructure, right, are completed by December latest. All stations, all bridges, all walkways, all pedestrian bridges by by December, so that they can start testing. You know, operationally, it will take 2-3 months. You need to check your signaling. You need to check, the sensing of all of the signalization that you have, right? So we're hoping that operations will start within the first quarter of 2023. It could be January. We'll start carrying passengers from January, test passengers, February. Operationally, we should start doing that first quarter next year. They've actually moved from where they were. They were a lot more than that 2 months ago at Agege, right? And they are aware that once we're ready, we're going to wall off the whole of the station and the whole of the track in Agege completely. They don't have more than a month, or at best 6 weeks, to just enjoy in that whole place.
The Civil Liberties Organization, CLO, and the All Nigerians Automobile Commercial Owners and Workers Association and AHOA have kicked against the proposed ban on activities of commercial motorcycles operators nationwide, saying that the policy will cause more harm to society than good. At a press conference in Lagos, the national president and AHOA, Emmanuel Deji, described the measure as a wrong prescription, noting that motorcycle riding and mining had been in existence long before terrorism reared its head in the country. He said all over the world, emphasis is being placed on how to reduce poverty and address the social problems of the people, not increasing them by inflicting hardship on people.
Example, in our last week Wednesday, the terrorists came with 80-seaters bus to attack a construction company. Do they come with Okada? No. Is it Okada they came with? No. So government will not have been thinking towards that direction. A lot of people are engaged in this Okada business. Some of us are graduates, some people are graduates, they don't have another means of living. They decide to be using this Okada as a means of survival for the country because the the poverty in this country is too much. A lot of people have parents, have children in the school. Some people have 3 children in university. They work on daily basis to earn living. So those are the areas I'm trying to emphasize upon, that government should have a second thought. Rather, government should focus on how to use security apparatus like CCTV camera in all the old places, so that if whoever that commit crime, we're able to detect it easily. So these are the areas we're emphasizing to the government that our dear president should listen to us, that the ban on Okada would cause more hardship to the people of this country.
The third and final day of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community United Kingdom Annual Convention took place on Sunday in the beautiful countryside of Hampshire. The convention, also known as Jalsa Salana, aimed to strengthen the link of man with God, as well as to bring the community together in a spirit of brotherhood. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has been providing humanitarian needs through various means, be it through establishing schools, hospitals, or by providing any necessary help to anyone in need. On Sunday, the initiation ceremony took place where tens of thousands of members renewed their pledge and commitment to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community at the hands of their spiritual head, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. The ceremony was broadcasted live across the world on the community's 8 television channels. The initiation ceremony was followed by the concluding section where His Holiness addressed the gathering. And that's all from the local scene. We'll go on a quick break to bring you foreign stories. Please stay tuned.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Getting free premium television is as easy as 1, 2, free. 1. Make sure you purchase any free-to-air decoder or satellite receiver. If you already have one and any dish, you are good to go. 2. Enter the settings on your decoder or go to our website to learn how. And free. Scroll through and find Premium Free Bouquet. It's that easy. 25 channels with access to 200 more. Free forever. No cost, no subscription, 100% free. Take the next step. 1, 2, free, and just watch. Start watching Premium Free today. Why pay? Just watch.
This is Mitv Primetime News. Now to foreign stories. Israel has killed the second top militant from the Palestinian Islamic Jihad group as the death toll continues to rise from airstrikes in Gaza. 6 children and several PIJ fighters, including leaders Khalid Mansour and Tessia Jabari, are among the 32 Palestinians reported to have died. An Israeli official said nearly 600 Palestinian rockets and mortars have been fired at Israel since Friday. Israel says it launched the operations due to immediate threat from PIJ. The latest violence is the most serious flare-up between Israel and Gaza since an 11-day conflict in May 2021 left more than 200 Palestinians and a dozen Israelis dead. The United States has accused Beijing of provocative and irresponsible actions after Taiwan said China rehearsed an attack on the island. Taiwan said it responded to the Chinese drills, now in their 4th day, by deploying aircraft and ships on Sunday. The heightened tensions follow a trip to Taiwan by a U.S. delegation led by senior Democrat Nancy Pelosi. China views the visit as a challenge to its claims of sovereignty over Taiwan, which says it served as distinct. Taiwan's defense ministry said China's ships and planes carried out missions in the Taiwan Strait over the weekend, with some crossing the median line and unofficial buffer separating the two sides.
And that's why we say that the change to the status quo that's prevailed with regard to Taiwan for more than 40 years is coming from Beijing, not from the United States or anyone else. That status quo is founded on something that was clearly understood for decades, and that is the differences between Taiwan and the mainland need to be resolved peacefully. And what we've seen China do over the last few years is move away from a peaceful resolution of differences.
The United Nations nuclear watchdog has called for an immediate end to any military action near Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, warning of a very real risk of a nuclear disaster. Air Chief Rafael Mariano Grossi said he was extremely concerned by reports of shelling at Europe's largest nuclear power plant. It comes as Ukraine said parts of the facility were seriously damaged by Russian military strikes. Russia seized the plant in March and has kept its Ukrainian employees, but Ukraine accuses Russian forces of firing rockets at civilian areas from the site, employing terror tactics. And up next is Sports Stories. Please stay with us. You're still watching Mitv Primetime News. Now talking sport. Toby Amusan ran a game's record of 12.30 seconds to defend a Commonwealth title and set other records in the process on Sunday. Amusan also became the first world champion to win gold in the event and the first Nigerian athlete ever, dead or alive, to be crowned champion at all levels of athletics in the same year. She has become the first Nigerian track and field athlete and the second in history to successfully defend a Commonwealth Games 100-meter hurdles title. The 25-year-old reigning world champion and world record holder in the event also became the first Nigerian track and field athlete to win gold medal at 2 editions of the Games. Meanwhile, Nigerian quartet of Toby Amusan, Favor Ofili, Rosemary Chukwuma, and Grace Umokoche ran a race of their lives to clinch another gold in the 4x100 meters women relay event of the Commonwealth Games on Sunday with a time of 42.10 seconds and also setting an African record. Amusan, who was drafted in for Joy Udo Gabriel barely 1 hour after retaining a 100 meters hurdles title in record time, started the race strong for Nigeria before smoothly passing the baton to 200 meters silver medalist Favor Ofili. Ofili maintained Nigeria's pace before handing over to Chukwume, who built a substantial lead ahead of the chasing pack. However, in the men's version of the 4x100 meter relay team, Nigeria had to settle for bronze as the team clocked 38.81 seconds to place third. Eric Ten Hag's reign as Manchester United manager got off to a nightmare start as Brighton registered their first ever victory at Old Trafford with a 2-1 win on the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Pascal Gross scored twice for the Seagulls in the first half, and Grant Porter's main elder despite Alexis Mack at least his own goal 22 minutes from time, reducing United arrears. Gross gave Brighton the lead after it turned in a cross from ex-United forward Danny Welbeck. And just before we draw the curtain on the primetime news tonight, a quick recap of our top stories. President Buhari pledges support as Nigerian hosts major cultural, tourism, literacy events. Police, Nigerian Air Force raid terrorist hideout in Katsina. From the foreign team, we told you the Gaza death toll rises as Israel kills second top militant, several children. Sport. Toby Amusa defends Commonwealth Games Women 100-meter hurdles title. And that's it on MITV Primetime News. I am Teresa Adeyemi. Do have a great night. Good night.